Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us again for another Get Real with Danna and Ginny. I'm Dana Bowman, co-founder of Thyroid Refresh, a lifestyle support platform for thyroid patients.
And I'm Ginny Mahar, the other co-founder, and we are so happy to be here today with Nadia Ahrens, our Thyroid Refresh resident psychotherapist. Welcome, Nadia.
Hi, thanks for having me. Hi, everyone.
So we're going to be talking today about silver linings. That's kind of our theme of discussion for the day. Before we dig in, we just want to make some really exciting and important announcements. As many of you know, our very first wellness adventure, Thyroid 30, is coming. Enrollment opens September 20th, so next week, guys. Mark your calendars. If you haven't already, be sure and like our Facebook page to stay in the loop. And really, the best way to make sure that you stay in the loop is to sign up for our mailing list. So if you go to our Facebook page and click sign up, that will take you to a link where you can join our mailing list. You'll see a pinned post at the top of our Facebook page about our ultimate wellness giveaway. Danna, do you want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, first I was going to ask and see if everybody could tell us where you're from. If you want to drop that in the comments just to kind of let us know where you're from. I'm calling from Colorado Springs.
And
Ginny?
I'm in Missoula.
And I'm in Seattle, Washington.
So we're from all over. So if you are out there, let us know where you're from. Okay, so we have an amazing wellness giveaway that we are doing. One of the prizes, one of the gifts is with an hour with Nadia Ahrens, who's with us today. So that's really exciting. Another one is an hour with Mary Showman, deep dive into hormones and thyroid. She's a New York Times bestselling author. Surely everybody knows Mary Showman by now. How about a thumbs up? Anyway, let's see what else. Adrienne Klein, she will be doing a nutrition, kind of a meal plan consultation with you. And she's our resident nutritionist. And let's see, who else is there? Catherine Watkins. She's our transformational coach, lifestyle coach. Her name, her title keeps changing. And she is fabulous. And she will do a really deep dive into getting to the root cause of what's going on with you. So we also have 3 bundles for a 1-year subscription to Thyroid Refresh and Thyroid 30 Wellness Adventure. So there's 3 of those you can win. And last but not least, Thrive Market. We have a $200 gift card. So I want that. I mean, I'm ready. I mean, I want all of them. But so anyway, that's it. We're so excited.
So excited.
Please, I was just going to say, please join. Please go and sign up.
Yeah, you can do that at the top of our Facebook page. So good luck. You could be one of 8 lucky winners. Nadia, do you want to talk a little bit about the session that people can win with you?
Yeah, really quick though, I just want to say for the viewers that come on later, you can still sign up for the giveaway. You can sign up until September 20th. Sorry, 20th.
I think the 20th.
20th. Yeah. So don't forget, you can still sign up even for the replay people. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks. So it's a free hour psychotherapy phone call where, with therapy traditionally, it's expanded. It's more than just an hour. But within this hour, it really is about getting to that root cause, the emotional feeling layer of what's going on within you now that you have this diagnosis and when you're living with this diagnosis. And so I'm a big believer in life happening for you, not to you. And so it's about kind of unpacking the emotional layers that go along with living with a diagnosis. And it's really about also creating a mindset going forward on your healing journey.
Wow.
I love that. I would love
too.
To that.
You girls can get it. Take advantage of it after the call.
Right.
I'm going to answer. There's so many of us out there, I think, where it's just easy to overlook the emotional aspect of, not just root causes, but just kind of adopting a thyroid friendly lifestyle. Like, it just seems like one of those things that's so easy to sort of put on the back burner. I don't want to think about it. I'm already thinking so much about what I eat and sleep and supplements and medication and things like that. So I
It's
just
like,
think it's really great.
and it's a lot about being present with it, being in the moment with it, because like you said, you're like, I just can't think about it right now because I have too many things to think about. So making this something that you think about in a fun way, hopefully, will Thyroid 30 can help you with that.
Well, and it's also about learning how to integrate it because it is overwhelming. And so when you're constantly thinking about it and taking the supplements and doing all the things and sleeping and eating and all that, it does get super overwhelming. So it's learning also how to balance that so that you could um, do the long haul. I had a client who was going through this family trauma, and she said, is it okay if I, just want to veg out to Game of Thrones, like for a couple hours? I said, yes. I said, as long as you're doing these other pieces, so it's crying when you need to cry. It's, going for the walk. It's journaling or meditating and watching Game of Thrones or The Bachelor or whatever it is, just to kind of shut your mind off. So when you have these pieces of your puzzle, you're doing the work, but you're also kind of giving yourself a break too, because it is pretty intense, especially when you have a lifelong diagnosis ahead of you.
And I was just going to say, it's about, kind of not forgiving yourself, but just, not being upset with your body. You have to really, not only do you have to own it, but you have to like be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, it's a big deal.
Well,
and
go ahead.
I was going to say, and your mind knows, what you say and what you think, your body can hear. And so, it took me a while to not be negative about this. And so, you really got to kind of own it. And yeah, it's not easy.
Absolutely not. And there is that grief process, and when acceptance is such a kind of, I don't know, it's kind of overused in my field, but it really truly is learning how to accept what what you've been given in a way, and so when you can't accept it and you're fighting it, that creates suffering. And that creates all the negative thoughts and all the negative beliefs. And you can't have a positive change in your life if you're constantly having these negative thoughts. And, I'm a believer in, your thoughts create your reality. And
Right.
so if
Right.
you are a victim to these circumstances, whatever life throws your way, you have that choice. Every second in the day, you have a choice. Do I want to be a victim or do I want to transform from this experience? And, you know, you got to choose this because this is going to be a really long, lonely, painful life.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Adrienne. Thanks so much for being
Hi.
here.
Yay, we're here.
There's a great article that Nadia wrote for us, you guys, on Thyroid Refresh. It's called Self-Acceptance, Loving the Perfectly Imperfect You. And we touch on a lot of these topics of just navigating the emotional landscape of a thyroid diagnosis. And I think this is a perfect segue into, today's theme of silver linings, because a thyroid diagnosis can really feel like a life sentence. But I think once we can get to that place of acceptance, okay, this happened, here I am. If we're open to change, there can be some real silver linings here. And I would only add one other thing. I think, for some of us, it's hard to even admit. Part of it is acceptance, but I think there's a little bit of just like sometimes struggling to admit, like, look, family, friends, I have this diagnosis and I know I look and seem probably pretty much normal to you, but I am dealing with some symptoms and I have to take really good care of myself so that I can feel vibrant. And there might be some things, some changes that are going to happen in my life with what I eat, how I live. I might have to say no to some things so that I can, do the self-care and manage the stress and do all these things that we work with people on in our Thyroid 30 Wellness Adventure, which enrollment begins September 20th, by the way, guys, if you're just tuning in. So if you want to find out more about Thyroid 30, you can go to thyroidrefresh.com/thyroid30. You can also go to our Facebook page and like our Facebook page, and most of all, sign up for the email list so that we can keep you in the loop with when enrollment opens. There is a limited enrollment window, so we don't want you guys to miss out. But yeah, I know for me that was a part of the process. I had to realize, like, this is a little bit more than just taking my prescription every day and going on my merry way. That it wasn't working for me. I was really sick and not feeling well and didn't feel like myself. And I had to bring in these other lifestyle things. And it has taught me so much about how to take care of myself. And even, setting an example for my son. I feel like it's good for him to see that,
Yeah,
Well,
like when you take your self-care breaks, when I first started doing that, it seemed like I was being selfish and I don't know, trying to take some time for me. But now they kind of see that if you'll let me take my bath, I'll be better. I'll be more awake, I'll be more alive, I'll be more happy. And so, the self-care aspect it's hard, but it's part of it. And I've learned a lot from doing that, truly.
I'm only giggling because I'm remembering this meme. I'm not sure if it's out there yet, but we have this meme, you guys, and it's a vintage photo of a woman in a bubble bath. There's bubbles everywhere, and it says, "My me time is for everyone's safety."
Yeah. Exactly, right?
Well, it's the oxygen mask, when you're in a plane.
Right.
Put the oxygen mask on first, take care of yourself first, and then that way you have the energy to have life. And and going back to what you were saying about telling your friends and family, about your the diagnosis and the lifestyle changes, the mind and the body are so connected, and the throat chakra, I'm going to get a little woo woo for a second, is all about communication. It's all about expression. So it is allowing yourself, which is hard, to be vulnerable and to tell your loved ones, this is what I'm going through. And I would love to have your support in that, and however that shows up, and so it is really important to be able to express yourself and communicate, because energetically it's showing up, as your thyroid. But it really, on that grand scheme of things, is about expression and communication. So it is really important to share that with your friends and family, because it is kind of like one of those invisible diseases. You look healthy and normal, and it is about adjusting. And the more that you could share that, the easier it's going to become. So,
and one thing I wanted to add really quickly when you said, it's like an invisible illness, is that I have adrenal issues as well. And so, I look fine, I look normal, I go about my everyday, but then there's sometimes when I can go and have a dinner with my husband, or I can go to an event or something, and I save up my energy for that. My adrenals kind of help me get through it. And so my family will be like, well, you just went to that thing. Or my friends will be like, well, they're thinking, well, you just did that on Friday. Why can't you do this tomorrow? Or why are you telling me, no, you can't help me move into my new house, or whatever it is. I'm like, my adrenals can only take so much. If you get on my agenda ahead of time, I can prepare my body, but I look normal. And so I look and act normal, but sometimes you don't see behind the scenes, really my adrenals are driving me. And so, there's that aspect. So it's just, it's part of the journey.
So it's, especially for you, it's super important for you to recharge your battery. I talk with my clients about, we're like a battery. And so if we're constantly doing everything for everybody else and not taking care of ourselves, then your battery is going to be depleted and then you're just shot. So it is about, again, I mean, sometimes I feel like a broken record. I'm like, it really is about self-care, people. Take care of yourself so that you have that full battery so that you can, have the most fulfilling life that you can.
These are all great life lessons, I think. We just did a podcast with Stacey Robbins, who's incredible, and she is a thyroid refresh contributor, and she her site is her Facebook page is the Girl's Guide to Hashimoto's, right, Danna?
Girlfriend's Guide.
Girlfriend's Guide, thank you. But one thing that she said in our podcast with her that I loved was that it's like we get the wisdom of a much older person earlier in life because of the challenges that, thyroid disease brings to our life. And I mean, we're talking about life in general here, I think. We all are given our good and our bad, our blessings and our challenges in life. And sometimes, if we can embrace the challenges, that's where the transformation is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's the butterfly metaphor.
Absolutely. I mean, it's complete transformation because, like I said earlier, life is, if you look at it as life happening for you, there are teachings in that. And so there's, a Buddhist philosophy that there's, life is like a wheel, and so sometimes you're on the bottom of the wheel and sometimes you're on the top of the wheel. And so when you're on the bottom of the wheel, people are like, oh, woe is me. Why me? Why me? Why do I have this illness? But then, when you're kind of on the top of the wheel, nobody's ever like, why is my life so great? I don't get it. And so when you start to kind of like, because everybody wants to be on the top of the wheel, but that's not life. Life happens. And so when you start to understand when you're on the bottom, and sometimes your bottoms are huge and sometimes they're, just sucky experiences during the day. What happens is when you start to learn that it's actually a cycle and that you're going to constantly have these ups and downs, it gets easier when you're down here. Easier. You're still down here, but you're like, okay, it's that acceptance. I'm down here right now. There are lessons I need to learn about myself and my life. What do I need to do in order to kind of move out of that? Because eventually I will move out of that. And then this is kind of like your reward, like of all the learnings is being up here, and then you're like, oh, okay, sweet. And I have some clients who are like, well, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop and I don't want the other shoe to drop. And I was like, guess what? The shoe's going to fucking drop. That's life, So when you start to kind of get it, that acceptance happens and you're not stuck in that suffering and you're not stuck in that victim. And so part of being part of this amazing lifestyle platform is learning these tools that the two of you are giving everybody so that you could kind of move through this with a little bit more ease and not as much suffering.
Oh, I really love that.
That metaphor.
Metaphor is great. I'm totally going to use it. Yay.
Yay, go ahead.
And really, don't you think, Danna? I mean, that's what the mission is with Thyroid 30, our upcoming wellness adventures, helping people spend more time on the top of the wheel.
Yes.
Because when you accept that you have been given this diagnosis, which for many of us is lifelong, there are things you can do to decrease your residual symptoms, optimize your health, feel vibrant again, get your life back. It's all about quality of life, and it's all about helping people make those changes and make those changes feel more possible and accessible for people so that they can succeed at those.
Sorry. I was just going to say one thing that Thyroid 30 really makes me feel is that, in America, we have this convenience symptom where everybody wants to be, it's all about convenience and faster and high speed. And And we'll never get away from that. That's just the way it kind of is. And it's accelerated here in the States. But I just want to stand from the rooftops and yell time out, and like everybody take a time out. Like I think in other countries or some other countries, this is what I picture. I haven't been to Italy yet, but I'm going. They take longer dinners and lunches and things. They spend more time. They're more present. And I don't think Americans, myself, I really don't think we do that. And so time out, like during the day, take a time out. So for me, thyroid refresh is going to be my happy, like, this is my time out. This is something I have to do, guys. This helps me. I'm going to take my time out. I'm going to be present. I'm going to be looking at the things I need to be doing. And, it makes me feel really good about Thyroid 30, because I think that it will really help people slow down and pay attention and be present, which I think everybody's kind of lacking a little bit. It's okay. Take a moment. It's okay that you're falling apart, or it's okay that you start crying because your father just passed, or, your son's a stinker, or, whatever. It's okay. Or just like you said, top of the wheel, everything's going great for me, and noticing that you're on top of the wheel. I'm working my way back up to the top of that wheel right now.
Right.
I think you brought up such a good point though, Danna, about like things like the Mediterranean diet. How much have we heard about the Mediterranean diet? Well, it isn't just the Mediterranean diet, right? It's the lifestyle. It's the slowing down. It's making time for community, for, just to relax and enjoy life and have some joie de vivre, and
Right.
I think especially here in the US, those things can be really undervalued.
And we're so conditioned, like you said, to want that magic pill, to have the quick fix. And so you get into this loop in your brain that I have to have it all fixed immediately. And the beauty is that if you take that time to kind of slow down and excuse me, be in that space, that's the magic pill. The thyroid refresh and the thyroid 30 is your magic pill. The trying to mask it and do all the things and pretend that it's not happening, and that's going to be long. That's the hard and long road. But when you kind of accept that this is where you're at and you sign up for thyroid 30 and you take care of yourself, that's the magic pill. That's the quick fix, and so
is the
man, we need to have you on a commercial or something. Right? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, here's an example. This is real talk from real thyroid patients. So I wanted it to be true that all I needed to do was take my pill and go on my merry way and be fine. And I tried to do that for 4 years because it's what my doctor told me. She said, you don't have to do anything else. It won't make a difference. Diet and lifestyle won't make a difference. I wanted to believe that so that I could keep eating,
doing all the
dairy,
stuff.
whatever, all these things I was sensitive to. I didn't want to inconvenience people, including myself. I didn't want to really, have to change my life and my lifestyle. And I was tired every day, sick all the time, had a ton of residual symptoms. And within literally like a couple weeks of finding a new doctor and implementing diet and lifestyle changes, and also going through the mindset shift of, okay, this isn't working. Something has to give. I've hit rock bottom, silver linings to rock bottom. That was when I was able to get myself back up on top of that wheel within a couple weeks. I mean, and wow. I got my energy back. I started doing some different treatments and things, and, the diet and the lifestyle and everything was part of this big puzzle. I mean, it was like 48 hours. I was like, somebody just flipped the lights back on after 4 years of them being turned off. Yeah. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Nadia. That was the quick fix. And it's never ending, and I still have to work at it. And yes, sometimes I'm like, I wish it could just be easier, but this is what I've been given. And I feel so empowered having these tools to get myself back up here more often, more of my life. That has given me a better quality of life. It's enabled me to be the person and the mom I want to be. It's enabled me to be here today. It's enabled me to be a part of the creation of Thyroid Refresh and Thyroid 30. I couldn't have done this 4 years ago.
No.
Right.
I didn't have the energy, and here I am. That's it, It's about the lifelong lifestyle and the lifelong pursuit of optimal health and optimizing our health and vitality. And I think that's true for everybody.
Right.
But it's especially applicable to thyroid patients. And that's what we're focusing on. And that is our niche, and who we're here to help is everyone out there who's listening, who has a thyroid diagnosis and is ready to feel better.
Yeah.
And that silver lining, it's not being Pollyanna. It's
right.
Within that silver lining, you're going to have super cloudy days, you're going to have downpours, but it is about going, okay, this is acceptance. This is, I'm having a really shitty day, and I'm going to continue to do my things so that I could feel better. And that's where the silver linings come from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here we are, guys.
Yes.
It's here. We've been working on this for 1.5 years, and Thyroid 30 is here to help you find your silver linings, to help you get to the other side, to help you implement all those expert recommendations out there about what you can do to feel better. We have made that process doable for you. So we are launching September 20th. The cart opens. It's going to be a limited enrollment window, September 20th to 30th. And the wellness adventure begins October 7th. So don't miss out. We would love to have you along with us on this adventure. We're all going to have our own teams. You can join one of our teams. We're here to do this together so that we can thrive and overcome together and find a better quality of life for ourselves. So best way to stay on the loop is to click sign up on our Facebook page, join our mailing list. You'll get notifications when the cart is open, and you can purchase Thyroid 30. It's incredibly reasonably priced. Also, really fun event we have going on right now is our Ultimate Wellness Giveaway. You have to check it out. It's pinned to the top of our Facebook page, and you can enter there.
Yep. It's on the screen right there too.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that Ginny and I wanted to do is help a lot of people, but we wanted to inject fun and optimism and inspiration into it. And I think we've done that. Making it a type of game that we've done just adds another layer that makes you, kind of makes you feel supported and happy. And that's what we wanted. We were really trying to make people not be so humdrum about having thyroid disease, because this is life. So you've got it. So now let's move on and be happy. So we really tried to do that. So we'd love for you to join us.
And as part of
emotional support. And that's,
that
we're so grateful to Nadia for being a part of the Thyroid Refresh team and family as our resident psychotherapist. She's brought so much to the table that way. And we're so grateful to you for being on this journey with us, Nadia, and for being here with us today. Nadia has some of her own incredible events and courses and things. So you can find out more on her Facebook page. Can we put a link to that in the comments?
Mm-hmm. We can. I'll do that right now.
And thank you all for joining us and for listening today.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, guys. See you next week.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Mwah.